Extinctions of creatures like the dodo or the thylacine wolf are dramatic indications of the impact our species has had on diversity of life in the natural world. Now, the only place we can encounter these creatures is in a natural history museum, like this one. But our research is showing that it may not be simply the reduction of species that threatens biodiversity, but that the changing composition of species in a particular place is also a critical factor. When studying nature, historical figures such as Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace saw that, like pictures in a collection, the species that go to make up a local community change over time. Some species colonize and grow more abundant, while others become rarer, or even become locally extinct. Biodiversity isn't only about how many species there are in a place, how many pictures in a collection, if you like. It's also about which species are present in any location. And a critical question today is how much of this turnover of species is due to natural processes and how much is caused by disturbance by us. To begin to answer that question, we've been carrying out research in locations where scientists have a good understanding of the local natural ecology, and there's been a growing increase in human disturbance. One such location is the island of Trinidad, just off the coast of Venezuela.
Trinidad is home to the rich tropical ecosystem of the Northern Range. Researchers from the University of the West Indies and the University of St Andrews have been studying the ecology of the rivers there for some time. The Northern Range is also popular with picnickers, who enjoy a river lime. This is a party by the river which involves bathing, cooking, and the inevitable disturbance in the form of garbage and noise. We've been studying the communities and biodiversity of these sites, as well as at sites where picnickers don't tend to go. By recording details about the fish, the aquatic invertebrates such as dragonfly larvae and unicellular organisms, we've been learning more about these communities. Our study still has another year to go, but it's already clear that change over time is occurring in these places, and that this change is most striking at those sites that picnickers favour.
In another study, we've analysed a 100 time series from localities all over the world. This was a very large data set. It included over 6 million observations from over 35,000 species, and the systems that we looked at included terrestrial ones, oceans, freshwater systems, and they extended from the tropics to the poles. What these studies showed overall were small changes in the number of species. About half of the communities showed slight increases and about half slight decreases. Much more striking was what we found when we examined the types of species in these various natural communities. The composition of species changed substantially, more than would be predicted given natural processes alone, in almost 4 out of every 5 of the natural communities studied.
The causes for these results are different in different places. For example, sometimes habitats are modified directly by human behaviour, for example the rivers in northern Trinidad, and sometimes invasive animal species move in and modify how ecosystems work. But what this finding, that species composition varies so substantially across the globe, does show is that conservationists need to do more than just counting numbers of species. It's also very important to know which species are present both now and in the future to understand how our human behaviour is affecting biodiversity in natural communities throughout the world.